and welcome to Coffee with Cow. My name is Sheila. I'm the Learn International intern. And here with me today, I have Amber Lacilla. How are you today, Amber?
I'm great.
Great. Thanks for being here today. For
No
those
problem.
of you who don't know, Cow is Learn International's lovable mascot, and she travels everywhere we go. Coffee with Cow is a podcast that aims to share and capture stories from students such as Amber and also international educators as well. So like I said, today we have Amber. Amber, tell us a little bit about yourself.
Well, I live in Maryland in the United States. I go to Becker College, and I studied abroad in Ireland in the fall semester of 2019, and I did an archaeology internship in Dublin.
Very interesting. And is archaeology your major at Becker?
Well, my major is forensic science, but it's a subfield that I was very interested in.
Oh, interesting. And are you currently a student now?
Yes, I'm a senior.
Senior, okay, so you're almost done.
Yes.
Great. I wanted to start with talking about your internship in Ireland. Can you walk us through the academic part, the cultural part, the field experience? Tell us what your day-to-day life looked like while you were interning in Ireland.
So I did my internship at Archaeology plant in Dublin, and basically our company was called out to different other companies, and homeowners would call us in because they would need an archaeologist present before they could do any kind of digging or repairs that involved digging up the ground or anything like that. So an archaeologist must be present for any kind of excavating that happens in Ireland. So we would get called in, and basically, if we were called in by a different company, we just had to observe their dig and make sure no archaeology is spotted. And if it was, we had the right to stop all progress, excavate what we could, and then allow them to continue. And that would continue until all archaeology was, picked up and written about.
Interesting. It sounds like quite in-field experience. I mean, you're actually in the ground, not in the office, meeting different companies and just trying to explore. I know a little bit about archaeology, but explore their location. So tell me, did you spend a majority of your time on site, or did you have any time in the office?
So a majority of the time was on site, but there was a lot of time spent in the office. So whenever we got a call from a company or a homeowner about a job, we would do research on the area and any archaeology that might have been present at any period of time, because we had maps dating back to the 1700s and stuff. So we had all the archaeology that's ever been recorded about the area. So we would figure out what's been there and what exactly we were trying to look for during the dig.
That's really interesting. So you spend a lot of time on site. What's the protocol that you would do? So you're in the office, say your supervisor comes in and tells you about the next project that you need to do, and you have to go to the site to do your internship. Walk us through the step-by-step on what you have to do. Like step one, you need to accomplish something before you can even go to the site and accomplish step two. Does that make sense?
Yeah, so the first step is always you have to have the right gear. A big thing I had to get used to was wearing the right kind of clothes and stuff. So you have to have steel toe work boots, rain clothes, because it's always raining.
Yeah, Ireland.
So just wearing the right clothes, and then we would go to the office, get all of our tools and all of our research about the area, and then we'd go in to whatever site it was, and we'd do an initial search and see if there was any obvious archaeology present before we started digging. Because if there's anything on the ground, there's no point in digging. There's obviously archaeology there. So if that's the case, then we, the company, excavate ourselves instead of the other company doing it first. And then after that initial search, if nothing is found, we give the company the okay to start digging, and we are just present to observe and see if anything comes up.
That's really interesting. Were you the only intern on at the company at the time?
I was, yeah, it was just me.
Wow, you must have gotten a lot of experience then, a lot of one-on-one time, which is pretty
Yeah,
great for an internship.
it was very, very helpful. I had a little experience going in because I did an archaeology course the semester before in college. So I kind of had a little bit of a field experience, but it really solidified it for me.
Did that course before kind of help you with your internship? Did you have lots of knowledge from that course? Were you able to think this internship is pretty successful from my previous knowledge?
Yeah, it was definitely definitely gave me a boost up because I would have been lost with how to actually excavate and stuff because they gave me a lot of free reign at my internship.
Wow.
Because I think they expected me to know a little bit coming in. So it was good that I kind of did.
Yeah, definitely. It sounds like you went to a lot of sites. Did you see a lot of Ireland that way by going to site visits?
I did. I learned a lot about Irish history
Mm.
and culture a little bit. We dug up like an old church, and obviously Irish religion is very important to the Irish culture. So that really gives you a glimpse into the history and the cultural aspect of Ireland.
Yeah, definitely. That's really really cool that you have an internship that allows for you to move around Ireland to see Ireland during your internship.
It's really good too because I did online classes through my university while I was doing my internship. So I didn't have much time to do my own exploring. So the fact that my internship kind of helped me do that, it was really good.
Yeah, that sounds busy. Very busy.
Yeah.
I wanted to talk more about archaeology. I know a little bit about it, and I want to inform the listeners as well. Can you compare and contrast what it's like in Ireland to what it is in the States?
So basically, in Ireland, it's all about archaeology is more prominent.
Okay.
So archaeologists are called in by companies and homeowners because they have to have an archaeologist present before they can dig, because in Ireland it it's all about protecting cultural heritage and the national heritage of Ireland. So that's what archaeologists do in our, the company that I worked for anyway. But in the States, that's not how it is. There's no cultural heritage protection or anything like that. So construction workers can just go out and dig whenever they're told to do so, and an archaeologist doesn't need to be present for that.
Oh, it makes me think. Sorry, go ahead.
Just like archaeology in the States is more like they more research history of different areas more around globally and in specific areas of the States more than they are preserving the heritage of the States.
It's interesting. It makes me think about how much might be lost in the States compared to how much is found in Ireland.
I know we should definitely have a cultural protection here, but I think it's more because we started off as such a younger country that it just didn't seem important at the time, I guess.
Yeah, it's a shame, but it's probably really exciting for you, especially having that experience in Ireland. I mean, you're getting into the industry that maybe you have a chance to make a change with the procedure or the protocol or the policy and all that.
Yeah, that would be great.
Mm-hmm. Do you have a favorite site that you went to in Ireland?
There were a lot of good ones. I would have to say my favorite was Dundalk.
Okay.
We went to Dundalk and we excavated with a construction team. So we were just observing their work, but we ended up finding the perimeter of an old church.
Wow.
So we found that perimeter, and we found a lot of women's hair curlers.
Interesting.
And they were all pretty old. I don't want to say for sure, but it was definitely between like the 1800s somewhere.
Wow.
Yeah. So we found a lot of really, really cool things there. A lot of animal bone and stuff like that.
That's interesting. Do you then, as a company, keep the items that you find? Like, what's that process like? Does a company keep it for a while, then send it off to, I don't know, a museum, or what's that process like?
Yeah. So basically, the artifacts we find, we wash up. Be careful not to destroy any like markings on whatever it is. And we bag it up, and then we send it to the experts in that field. So like my boss at Archaeology Plan knew a lot about what the artifacts were and what time period they came from and all of that. So we would be able to label them specifically and send them to exactly who would be able to identify them and find out their purpose, basically.
I see. That's really cool. It's like you're at the beginning stages of the item that was found, and then you send the items along to figure out more of the history of what you found, which is pretty interesting.
Yeah. We try to it's kind of like putting a story together of like whatever area it is. But then basically after the professional in that specific artifact is done with them, they all get packaged up from that specific site and sent to the museum.
Oh wow, that's cool. Yeah. Have you ever looked into anything that you did in Ireland? If you know where their home is right now, or not really?
So the sites we were on were not finished when I left.
Okay.
So I'm not sure what happened to them.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, that's really interesting to me. You worked in a company and you went to a lot of sites, so you must have interacted with a lot of people in your field. Do you have a significant person that you met in Ireland that during your internship that shaped your experience?
Yeah, so actually one of my favorite experiences was working with the Archaeology Plan's osteologist, who's like their bone person.
Okay.
So she like observes and analyzes human remains.
Wow.
And just determines their story and how old they are and like where they came from, basically. Which is the career I'm going into once I graduate. So it was just an amazing experience to learn how to do what she does, and she taught me so much, and she just really solidified that this is the career I want to go into. And I just learned so many skills I need to be successful, and she gives me a great recommendation for like graduate schools that I'm looking into. So it was just my all-time favorite thing.
That sounds great. I feel like at any internship, if you have a supervisor or a mentor that really challenges you and informs you, and it's really, I feel like it changes your internship as a whole. So that's pretty neat that you got to get close to your mentor that you met in Ireland.
Yeah, she definitely challenged me for sure.
That's pretty great. Would you recommend this internship or any internship in general to students who are majoring in forensic science?
100%, yeah. I do think they were very flexible with me, and I could have taken more time off than I did, but I was just so invested in it, you know? So it's definitely really great if that's the kind of field you're looking to go into.
It's great to hear. Amber, I want to thank you so much for telling us your stories and your experiences and giving us the detail about your day-to-day life interning in Ireland. Thanks so much for being here today.
Yeah, no problem. Thank you.
Yeah, we appreciate all you had to say. For those of you that want to listen to this specific episode, we put it on our Coffee with Cow Learn International YouTube channel, so you can find us there. You can also find us on our social media platforms such as Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and LinkedIn with the hashtag LearnINTL. And tune in for the next episode with another student alum. And once again, thanks so much, Amber, and stay safe and healthy.
Yes, you too.
All right, bye.
Bye.